What up, everybody? Welcome back in. It is that time of the week here on See Ball, Get Ball, where we get to put our money where our mouth is, make some picks, see how we stand. These games are so good this week, man. Brent Rollins back with us again, like always. Works for PFF on 3, like football connoisseur, numbers man, which sometimes can get in the way. I like of the Brent Rollins, the picks, the big brain sometimes gets in the way, and
Yes.
I'm excited to see you make some picks. Did you have any that you went back and forth on 40,000 times?
Not this week, actually. I feel pretty confident this week. No, I wouldn't say confident, but I didn't waffle back and forth. I didn't overthink anything. It was just, okay, I feel pretty good about this. I'm going to go one way.
Okay, sweet. Well, where are we starting, Oma G?
Biggest game of the weekend. I guess I was looking at, okay, yes, it is. In terms of numbers, if ranking, the lowest ranking when you combine them. Georgia, Tennessee.
Okay.
I'll give you some weirdness there with how I came to that conclusion, but whatever. It's still Georgia, Tennessee. It's the 3:30 game on ABC, which
Yep.
where these things are on TV this week is very interesting, I think.
Does it bother you?
No, not at all. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
But like the 7 o'clock, the late window, you've got like 4 games to me that are all insanely watchable. So,
which is good because you go 4 box and you go back and forth and you watch all of them. I do like when they're better spread out for sure, and I get like a couple in each window because I can be more focused and laser locked in.
But this is the nugget platter. This is the first game of the nugget platter, by the way. I can't forget that because I know we talked about that with Cole Kubelik last night. So.
What a stud. Cole was such a great guest. Thank you for him for joining us. All right. There's a couple things I look at in this game. You can have your question marks about both quarterbacks, I believe. I think you could literally look at this game and go, okay, I don't know if either quarterback is elite. So put that on the table. Put that on the nugget platter. And I think that now, to me, it goes, okay, what about the guys around them? And the success that can be gleaned from that. And that's where I think, Georgia's got Tennessee's number. They've won 8 straight.
Yep.
I read this stat the other day, Brent, too. Heupel averages almost 40 points a game, and against Kirby and company, he averages 14.
Yep.
How about that? Average 14 points a game. That was crazy. I saw the stat, and I was like, that just shows you, like, Georgia's done a good job matching up. And the reason why is because Georgia can match up out wide, and they're going to play man-to-man. They're going to play aggressively. They're not going to let you dictate to them like a lot of teams thought, like a lot of Josh Heupel does that to a lot of defenses. And He's not going to let you do that because he also feels confident in his box as well to dominate and to get home. So those are some things that I found, interesting in this matchup. I like Georgia's weapons a lot. I like Georgia's weapons this year a whole lot. When I say that, running backs and receivers, I'm not sure they take a back seat to many people in the country in totality. I feel like spread out across the board, I think they've got a bunch of guys that can win, a bunch of guys that can beat you, guys that can win contested catches, guys that can catch screens and go a distance, guys that can run out of the backfield, catch the football, guys that can hit home runs out of the backfield. So there's a lot of weapons that I like from the Georgia side of the football on offense. I did not mention their O-line, though, but that's where I started, where the clear advantages were for Georgia. Kirby, and then I think the weapons that Georgia has on offense and the defense that's pretty daggum consistent.
You mentioned the quarterbacks. Both of them have yet to have a turnover-worthy play. And also, the 2 of them are 2 of like 5, I think, in the Power 5 that have been pressured double-digit times and yet to be sacked. So both QBs have, independent of the offensive line, any offensive line issues, they've avoided getting sacked. And Gunnar Stockton's been pressured more so than Aguilar, that's for sure. But what was the funny thing that you mentioned about Georgia there with all the weapons? And I agree, especially the running back room. Dwight Phillips can take it to the house at any point in time.
Speed.
And then you've got the size and speed combo with Thomas and Young, and then Branch as the speed guy. But you didn't mention the tight ends. And last year's game was where the tight ends shined for Georgia. 10 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns combined from the 3 tight ends that they played a season ago. So that was a big deal. Kitzelman for Tennessee, I think, is a really good tight end as well, and was used a lot early in that game, not so much later. But I think that's one for me. Do the tight ends, because they haven't really been much of Georgia's offense. The other part is who gets field goals and who gets touchdowns, because Tennessee right now is number 1 in the Power 4 in red zone percentage and number of red zone plays, and their 100% conversion in the red zone. So can Georgia force field goals? And then obviously Tennessee on the other side playing defense, can they make Georgia, like Austin Peay did, not score at the goal line? So, but you've mentioned the receivers as well. Tennessee's cornerbacks are out, but by the way, the two that they've got that have the two primary, like Redmond and Hood, have played really well. The Redmond kid is one of the highest graded true freshmen in the country. So that's the thing. This to me though has all the makings of both teams aren't really trusting of their quarterback as much. Maybe Tennessee probably trusts theirs a little more and try a few more things, but it's like
at home.
How long can we get in the game and keep it close till we try to, put the throttle in place and go get the victory?
All right, now let him hang a little bit. Let's go. What you got?
I think Georgia is going to win this game. I think it's just much like Kirby has a Bama problem right now. Tennessee has a Kirby problem, and it's just one that the totality of it and how they play defense, and even the only question mark is, does Gunner go and completely crap himself and pee down his leg and do all the bad things early, and then they get down 14-0, and that puts Georgia in a really bad place. But I don't think they're going to do that. So, and I think they're going to use a lot of quick game, a lot of the stuff they've already done, and I think they'll eventually win, and those receivers will make a play. I got Georgia 23, Tennessee 20.
And I loved Kirby's response to why the tight ends weren't targeted the other day in the game. He was like, bro, they were, but sometimes it's not there. And sometimes other problems happen in the rise in the play where they don't get thrown the football. You will see them used more against Tennessee. You're absolutely right about that. I got 24-17 Georgia, and I think Gunner's legs will play a big part in the role. But I think you'll see some good Georgia offense. I think you'll see more downfield throws. I think you'll see some jump balls to Colby Young. And I got the Dogs in a close one over Tennessee. Where you want to go to next, big homie?
Well, one quick question, but with the Gunner issue that a lot of people, especially Georgia fans, obviously are worried about. One thought I had with that is, you have a kid who's his entire life he's grown up and wanted to be the Georgia quarterback, and now for the first time he's QB1, and your first 2 games are at home. Like the nerves and the vibe of that, and then it's like, okay, let me just not make mistakes. Maybe being on the road might actually be better for him, and that you see the aggressive Gunner that you saw against Notre Dame.
Yeah, well, I thought it was interesting that I saw a couple players say it and I saw Kirby say it. Like the Gunner we get in practice isn't the same guy that we've seen so far on the field. And I think that goes to show you, a little bit about what they think about him, and maybe that you'll see more aggressiveness, more playmaking, because he can rip it, man. Like he can rip the football. And I think we'll see that. I look to see that in Knoxville. But let me tell you something, bro. The loudest stadium I've ever heard at one time is Knoxville. Like it is. Let me tell you, I had somebody next to me when Travis Stevens caught the screen pass in 2001 and went to the house, and we were sitting next to each other, and it was like he was talking full on, and are you talking? Like I couldn't hear a thing. I couldn't hear myself. So Tennessee fans will be jacked up. Will be excited. They've had a great run under Heupel too. So maybe this is a breakthrough for them against Georgia, and a big opportunity.
The next nugget platter game, Texas A&M at Notre Dame.
So you got 2 nugget platters? So
yes, we got double nugget platters, 250
If you go to a party, like, by the way, you're going to have that. Like one nugget tray is not enough if you're going to have, if you have more than 5 people, for gosh sake. I like the really crispy, tiny ones that aren't even nuggets. Like that's the best part of it. All right. But I digress.
I got you thinking about food, which is rare actually. But anyway, A&M at Notre Dame on NBC. Do you think this is a must win for Notre Dame?
Man, that's such a crazy question. To say that in their second game, it seems ludicrous, but I absolutely understand why, because there's not another ranked game on their schedule. Now, I think USC will be ranked by the time they play them. That's my own head.
I agree.
I think at Arkansas is a tough spot to be in, because I think Arkansas is good this year. And Boise, I think, is a good team that comes to Notre Dame. So I don't think they're out of chances, but this could end Notre Dame's playoff chances. Like, they just don't have a lot on the bone. It's going to be more about the other teams and what they do as opposed to what they do. I think this puts the control in Notre Dame's hands for the rest of the season. They win this game, I feel very confident saying that they're going to go to the college football playoff because I don't see them stumbling as many times as they need to, and they'll put a good win, in their back pocket. That's how I feel. And I think A&M, I think this starts their campaign. Like this announces whether A&M is for real or not. Like there's some humpies out there that have them in the playoff. This guy right here. And I don't know that if you lose this game, I don't think they're going to the playoff. Like, because Notre Dame's not going to lose. Yeah, they've got too much on the schedule, and I don't think Notre Dame's going to lose enough to even out the resume by any stretch of the imagination. So this is a big prove-it game. Yeah, I think Notre Dame needs to win. And here's the most disheartening thing about Notre Dame. When I watched them up against Miami on both sides of the ball, Brent, they got their arses kicked. There's no other way to say it, homie. Like you watch that tape, it was carnage. Like it was not good. It was very ungood. And Notre Dame is a program that has hung their hat on that now. SAS still ain't she, right? Like that's exactly what Marcus Freeman wants to be, and they've got to run the football. Big opportunity to prove it against A&M. A&M's run defense has not been elite by any stretch. Notre Dame better get that run game going, and I could go to the other side too. I don't want to take all the things, but obviously just a huge statement for Notre Dame, huge statement for A&M. Whoever comes out of this week, man, they start their playoff push and playoff resume.
We talked about it with Cole in terms of, and you mentioned it, how Texas A&M's kind of been heavy on the passing side.
Yes, I've been shocked.
They're also eighth most, by the way, in terms of the Power Four, eighth most pass percentage. And when you look even more into it and watch the tape and as well as look at the data, it's because of when they run the RPOs, it's a throw 2/3 of the time. So it's more of a pass run option than a run pass option for Marcel Reed. So I think it needs to get more back to the run pass option, the true RPO, where its run comes first. But you look at their defense though. UTSA's Robert Henry, he just got another big game.
He's a baller. He's a baller.
2 straight huge games for him, but he ran it pretty well, quite well, actually.
Well, he's going to run it well against everybody. That offense was loaded. Everybody was back. Like they're a really good offense.
And I think Notre Dame actually gets back to the running game. They just had the worst single game grade in terms of pass block PFF that they've ever had in the 12 years that PFF has done college grading. That was the worst one. I think that goes up. I think they get the running game back going. I think Notre Dame wins 27-20.
Oh, how about amazing this? Our first one of the year that we have the exact same score. But I got the other side. I got A&M. I like A&M, and I like Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion. Both those guys, man, lightning in a bottle. Both those guys that fit well, that when they catch it short, they can go deep. Notre Dame wants to play a lot of man-to-man. You better tackle well because those suckers can break tackles. And the fight song, Bees a playing, right? Like as soon as they break a tackle, they got the Jets and the band. You can strike it up because they can take it the distance. So I think it's going to be a great game. I would not be surprised to see Notre Dame bounce back. They're at home, but I do think A&M was a quarterback away last year and some big plays away from beating a good Notre Dame team. And I just think that Riley Leonard piece, man, with the dynamic run game, I think that makes everybody better up front. And I think that's what's going to hurt Notre Dame throughout the season. But C.J. Carr showed me a good bit in week 1. Let's go to the next one.
All right, so our heartburn games, and for those who have not listened to us do the picks, we've got the main games, the nugget platter, tailgate theme. So these are the heartburn games. Looks good, tastes good, but a whole lot of stress and indigestion. First one, Clemson Tigers, #all in, is at Georgia Tech. Noon kick, I think this one is, if I'm not. Yes.
Yeah.
Noon kick.
Yeah.
So can Clemson finally start running the football?
Bro,
Numero uno question.
You got to show me, bro. You got to show me, man. Like, this is put up or shut up time. Like, I ain't all in from what I've seen. Let's put it that way. Nobody's all in on Clemson from what they've seen so far. I need some physicality, man. Like I got to have some. Randall, the second half, one carry, matches, exceeds the first half rush yards against Troy. Like offensive identity. One team in this matchup has a clear offensive identity. Like they know exactly who and it doesn't matter who. Like it doesn't matter if it's Haynes King or if it's Philo in the game. Like they'll still put up points because they'll maximize what they are, who they are. The only thing with Georgia Tech, and I said this the other day, they got 5 turnovers on their 5 opening possessions so far to start the season. Like they didn't do that a year ago. They got more turnovers than they had a year ago, for gosh sakes. Like they took care of the football. They're ground and pound. That's who they are. You'd love to see Clemson adopt some of that. Here's why I'm taking Clemson. One, I'm all in, and I'm not ready to get out of this. But if you pick Georgia Tech, I won't be surprised. Here's what has to happen, Brent. Cade Klubnik's got to get involved in the run game. He's got to. It's got to be more. It's got to be more power read, alleviation, jet sweeps, perimeter dumps. Like they've got to get more of that involved. I think Klubnik has a big game, and he reminds us why he was, one of the better quarterbacks in the country coming in, and why you drafted him really high in your fantasy team. I got 31-21. I think it's a good game, but I think the front seven can take care of business for Clemson.
If I asked you a number, non-Adam Randall running back carries for Clemson in the 2 games?
I would say, because Klubnik counts. So I would say.
Oh, okay. So non-Randall carries that are running backs. Sorry.
Okay. Thanks.
Excusing Klubnik out of that.
2,
6.
3, 6?
6. That's it.
Yeah.
So they've been completely counting on one guy, the freshman. You haven't seen that kid yet, the Davidson kid.
What? No. You saw him against LSU, Brent, for one play, and you know why you didn't see him again? Strike one and a miss. He missed a block, bro.
Yes.
No block, no rock.
No rock.
Like it's very pretty simple. So I got. Did you got Tech or Clemson?
I'm going Clemson, and Antonio Williams I saw was day to day, so I don't know if. I'm sure we're going to find out later, but that's kind of like losing like your best pitcher on a rotation, or like your better scorer in a basketball game. When the number 2 guy's now got to be the number 1, it just doesn't fit right.
Now,
and when you lose number 1 in a receiving core and everybody else has kind of got to step up, it doesn't fit right. So I got Clemson. I got 30-24.
Hey, if you're wanting to go to any of these games, by the way, the Game Time app that we've stumbled upon, download the Game Time app and use the promo code Pollack, and you'll save $20. Brent, you save money. But the app is the easiest thing I've ever seen to use. You can use it for concerts, tickets. Like if you want to go to any of these games, just look it up on the Game Time app. It'll show you and there's no fees and all that crap included. There's a bunch of fees and all that stuff. A $40 ticket turns into like a $60 ticket. Not with Game Time. So go check them out. Yeah. So where are we going next, big fella?
Night game, Florida at Death Valley, the real Death Valley.
I think you mean a night game in Death Valley is what you meant.
Yes. So at LSU. LSU's 8.5-point favorite. Does Florida rebound effort go way up after last weekend?
I don't know. I mean, I want to say yes. I want to say it goes up. And I'm looking last year, Brent, and I go, they got backed in the corner against the wall, all the negativity swirling, and Florida responded. Like they responded really well. And so I have that in the back of my head. But I love what I've seen from LSU's defense. And here's the thing that going back and watching Florida that really bothered me from a week ago. It wasn't like UCF got pressure left and right. Like USF, yeah. Like DJ Lagway had time to throw the football, Brent.
Yes,
but I see the same type of stuff that I saw a year ago. Now, I see some greatness from him, but I see some misses. And especially in that easy area that I'd like to see him clean up. I'd love to see him throw over the middle of the field more, like, and take some of that easy stuff and be able to take the check down, look, Ball's an animal. Like, Ball's a big, strong running back. Like, that dude's a mother freaking handful. Like, come out, Florida, establish the run Lagway, cut it loose, play the game that you can play. Like, you have talent. I just want to see Florida's response, man. Like, I think LSU's better. Like, I do. I think LSU, like, especially now that they have a defense, they're better. I just want to see Florida come out and swing. And last year against them, big plays, big plays, big plays, lag bombs away, right? Like, it was in full effect. And I think LSU, their defense has solved that riddle. They've become way more aggressive. Like, they're bringing the fight to them. They're not asking their corner to stand up on islands. They're like, I got Whit Weeks. I got Harold Perkins Jr. Them suckers are going to win at a high level and get to the quarterback. And I like that, what they've done for LSU. LSU's better. I like LSU at home. Trey'Dez Green being out, I think, in this football game is not good for LSU because I love that. He's the ultimate chess piece that you just go, what do you want to do? Okay, do you want to match him up with who? Because I'll just put him out here and put 4 the other side. But I do think I was discouraged in Florida's defensive line a week ago. But I've been encouraged with LSU. I'm not going to take everything, for gosh sakes. I'm taking everything from you here. But I got LSU 31-20.
I went 23-16 LSU. I think this is going to be a little bit lower scoring. I think LSU's offense is still not quite where they want it to be, and I think Florida can do some things defensively. But you mentioned Jaden Ball. He's number 2 in the Power 4 right now, missed tackles forced. He's 17.
He's a gam. If you don't know what a gam is, he's a grown man. Like, he's like Mr. Weight Room. He's breaking all the records at Florida for all the weight room numbers. Like, he can be that physical hammer. Florida's got a good offensive line. Like, they protected Lagway last week. I want to see Florida's defensive line show. But the one thing that impressed me the most about Nussmeier so far, because their offensive game last week was very ugh. But that dude knows how to get rid of the football and get rid of it fast. And they're going to dial up the screens, and you're going to have to tackle in space, and you're going to have to tackle Anderson and company. And those guys are quick, and they make plays. And I like LSU and who they are, and I like the more completeness of the team this year. So I think we're obviously both going Tigers.
Yep. Next one in the heartburn games. And this might be just because of the back and forthness and the scoreboard getting broke. Arkansas at Ole Miss. Explosive plays. Number 2 and number 3 in the country in terms of 20-plus yard plays. Arkansas. By the way, the thing with Arkansas, at least so far, all these transfer guys that they got are playing really well. Like Omega Blake, transfer receiver.
That's a great name, by
catches.
The way.
Yeah, 185 and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Brown, a kid they got from FSU.
Beginning and end. He needs to end the game one day. Omega for the walk-off
the
touchdown.
Alpha and the Omega.
Yeah, I like that.
Raylan Sharp from Fresno State. All these guys have actually made plays for them. Running backs, the transfer. Edge guys are transfers. So, like, they're the corners playing well. That's a transfer. So they're getting a lot of.
Say it with your chest. I want to hear you say it. Arkansas is going to win.
But I don't think they're going to win. I think Austin Simmons is going to just keep playing better and smarter week to week, and give me Ole Miss at home.
I understand that pick. I just don't like going chalk every week. Not a fan of that. Just don't. I don't love that. I got a couple upsets this week. I got a couple upsets this week. I also think this can happen. Here's what I'll say about Austin Simmons. A lot of mistakes so far. And you're right. He got it together in the second half last week. But if you make those mistakes against Arkansas, and if you don't know who Taylon Green is, I'm doing my best, and I've tried throughout the offseason as well. Like, the dude's an animal. He's got 200 yards rushing in 2 games. He's got 10 touchdown passes. Like, he can do it all. And when we get to the draft, we're going to talk about him every single time. I'm telling you, we're going to talk about him as a first-round consideration type of guy because of his physical skill set. Because he can run, he can throw, he can make big plays. So last year, Arkansas gave up 63. Like, Ole Miss did what they want when they want. Arkansas, a bunch of transfers, playing better in the back end. But I think Arkansas wins this game. I think it's 27-24. I think Arkansas, with the committee of backs, they can keep the football, possess the football a little bit. I think Simmons makes another mistake, which is just part of being a young quarterback. But Braylon Russell, Mike Washington, Taylon Green, like, they go, you got one guy going this way, Taylon Green going the other way. They can run the football. They can eat the clock. I think both sides run the football. I think they kick a few field goals in this contest, but woo, pig, suey.
And Simmons, I think a lot of his issue is he doesn't think there's a throw that he can't make.
Well,
Like he
there's
tries
not.
to put. I mean,
the sucker
he tries to
gets
put the
zipped
ball
with
in places,
football, bro.
in places that he really shouldn't. All right, so that's that. All right, going to the chips and dip. Not necessarily. I mean, fired up to dig into it, but not necessarily the marquee. USF at Miami on the CW once again. Week 2 in a row with the CW getting a good game.
You know, Cole Kubelik talked about your just flat level demeanor last show, and you just proved it right there. You're just like, oh, the next one, the chips and dip, man. I'm so excited. USF, Miami, CW. And I know why you're like that, Brent, because this is USF. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. It's been a great start to the season. Nothing to hang your head about. I think it's about to be a real one. I think you're about to get that tail whipped. I think it's about to be a come back down to earth. You still have the first 2 weeks. Still a lot to be proud of. Styles make fights. Miami likes to stand in front of you and go ahead. Your turn first. Okay. That felt good. Waka! And he's going to punch right back in your face. Offensive, defensive line of scrimmage. It's like those slaps, man. Those slaps online, you see those people that just stand there. By the way, how much would I have to pay you against some of those big suckers to take a slap? How much?
There's always a price. Like
you do it. Are you taking that slap for $1 million?
Oh, yeah.
You're taking that slap?
Yeah,
good, because that million's going
right
to cover the wheelchair accessibility in the Rollins crib over there, like in the wheelchair accessibility in the van. Because God dang, them fools
I'll be able to
get
pay
hit.
for the ramp, pay for the van.
Hey, it's all covered. Hey, I'll give you $5 million if you stand back up after a 10 count, because them suckers put you to sleep with those slaps.
Yes, they do.
I'm not saying USF's going to get put to sleep, but I'm saying USF's going to be put to sleep. I think it's a bad matchup. I think USF did a really good job last week of playing top down defensively. Carson Beck's okay with that.
Yep.
Carson, if you want to do that with Carson Beck will go, let's go ahead and go to Tony. And Tony's going to go, wee, and just zigzag through people and make plays. The running game is good. And I think the biggest problem, I think Miami physically can stop the run game for USF that's not that great outside of Brown. And then you got to pass the football. And when you got to pass the football and you got Mesidor and you got Blaine coming off the other Bain coming off the other end and Blay inside, we need to figure out a way to acronym all those together. It'd be Blam.
Yep.
Blam is good. You got all them coming off, man. I just think I don't think this is going to be a very competitive football game. I got Miami, and I think Miami's going to beat them 31-13.
Yeah, I Miami as well, and I went 23 touchdown, covering the 17.5 point spread.
Hey, Beck, 0 turnovers and set the Miami record for 16 straight completions last week. He looks okay.
Tony is the perfect kid, like perfect receiver for him that wins instantly, and he's just going to give it to him and let him go. Which, by the way, do you know how old he is?
17.
He's 17. He should be a high school. He should be a high school senior.
But we haven't heard that on the broadcast yet. It's weird. He made a move last week, homie, that made me go, ooh. He caught the football on the flat really quick. And a lot of people don't do this, but the ability to run full speed and sell your whole body one way, like head and all, and then cut. Yeah. Like when you can do that, it's a problem when you're that fast, and he can do that. Like he's a matchup nightmare.
Difference maker. The next game of the chips and dip that I am legitimately fired up for.
Oh, I like this one. A lot.
Is Vandy, South Carolina. Because
why are you fired up for this, Brent? Because Vanderbilt has no shot. They've lost 16 straight. They're going too cocky. Like, they have no shot. Like, why would you even think the Vanderbilt's an academic school? They're not very tough. They're not very gifted. What are we talking about? Are you giving Vandy a shot?
So, hey, by the way, you said academic school. That means they're going to be smart enough not to punt the ball to Swain.
Oof.
Who has who's got some punt return TDs and is doing
three in 2 games is pretty impressive
for South Carolina. But the thing with Vandy is I just love watching their offense and how it's evolved over time and the different ways that they can run the football. And Cole Cuba talked about this and some of their offensive line guys yesterday. Well, what's the easiest thing to do when you've got road graders who you don't want to have to worry about sort of meshing and working as a 5-man group, you tell them to block down and block, either straight ahead or block down. And that's what they do. They block down more than anybody that I've
an idea.
And take great angles and misdirection and Pavia's ability.
Can they block Dylan Stewart?
That's going to be tough. They might choose not to a lot of times, like go the Chip Kelly route and say, hey, I'm not going to block it. And when they do pass, they're explosive. Number 1 in the Power 4 in terms of percentage of pass plays that end up being explosive plays. So
that will change throughout the season, but
yes,
it's a good number PFF, man, for now, but that will change.
South Carolina's offensive line is struggling. Unfortunately,
do it.
Former
hammer down, anchor down.
Stanley, Lenoris's feet getting a little antsy in the pocket because of it. I'm going Vandy.
Oh,
27-24 Vandy.
I've got the game 24-21, so we're in the same realm. Everything about what I've seen so far, per se, common opponent. One hammered them, one struggled with it. One went to their place and put them to bed. Night. It's time to go to sleep, Virginia Tech. Love the defense. I think the defense for Vanderbilt has taken several steps forward. Interested to see if that will continue, because if that continues, the offense wasn't the problem a year ago. The defense was a sieve. They gave up too many plays. It makes sense to take Vanderbilt. Makes total sense. Vanderbilt's margin for errors are not big week in and week out. They can hold the football, though, and shut the crowd down, which you'll have to do. You got to go to South Carolina. That's a tough place to play, bro. That is a tough place to play. And Brent Rollins, Mr. PFF, Mr. Numbers Guy, let me ask you a question.
How big is the North Sellers?
When Cocky has the ball, when South Carolina has the ball, who's the best player on the field?
That would be, I think it's 16 is his number. That'd be
Lenore Sellers. Is that what you meant? Okay. When Pavia and company, Vanderbilt, have the football, who's the best player on the field?
That would be Dylan Stewart.
Yeah. You see where I'm going with this, homie G?
There's your answer, right?
I understand exactly where you're going. I understand what you've seen so far, common opponent, but playing at home, I think that South Carolina will find a way to make some plays. That place will null them out. Pavia will make a few of those jump passes, that fadeaways that Kulik was talking about, and make a few mistakes. I got Cocky at home 24-21 in a great football game.
Was it this one I saw that they've won 16 straight maybe? Was that this game?
That's what I said that to start. Thank you for listening to me, you jerk. Yeah, they've lost 16 in a row.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt has.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Thanks
I missed
listening.
that. I was listening. If I wasn't, I was clicking.
You were just thinking about the backyard brawl. You were thinking about your helmet
right.
behind you.
The next game is the backyard brawl. And I've got nothing in terms of analysis, especially the fact that they went and got beat at Ohio. They lost their best running back / best player in Jaheim White. This is one of those, can the Motown crowd, can Morgantown get rowdy enough and there be some level of momentum because Pitt's playing well, the quarterback's playing well. This is kind of a just blind faith, hoping that the ears pull a victory out of here. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm hopeful.
You didn't pick. You want some syrup with that waffle, for God's sakes?
I'll take West Virginia in the upset. Rich Rod, let's go.
That's
former Seaball get ball guest.
Absolute homer pick.
It is. It's my first homer in this game. I'm not picking Pitt. Sorry.
Okay, in this game, okay, I can respect that. At least you announce it. This is the last backyard brawl for a couple years. We don't get it until 2029, which really stinks. I can't stand that. I'm not going to bring up old school stuff like 2007 because that might cause a scab for Brent. That hurts. That was a big one. But West Virginia, best player, like you said, out. Best receiver, out. Not that they can throw the football that well anyways. Not that they're a throwing team. No. But Narduzzi and company. And if you don't know about Pat Narduzzi, you should. Really elite defensive coach. It was the reason Michigan State was really good with Mark D'Antonio back in the day. So good, so physical. Their linebackers, Lewis and company, they can run. They'll shut down the West Virginia run. And the question will be, can they pass? And I don't think the answer is yes. Give me Pittsburgh and company. I think Eli Holstein last year had to throw to win that game, and he did. And Desmond Reed, who's a really good back on the other side, is healthy. 28-17, though. I'm going to give you 17 points because I like you. But, all right, last pick of the day, homie G.
Got two quick ones. So here's the question, though. Are these games going to be veggie tray games where they might actually be good? Or are they going to be cooler games where it's going to be on ice really quick? And that is USC at Purdue and Wisconsin at Bama.
USC, because the talent gap is so large. Now, I mentioned Barry Odom. I love Barry Odom, one of the best defensive minds in college football. But, like, you can only plug so many holes and dikes. Like, and then another one just kind of springs out and he's like, crap. Like, and then you're like, at some point you're out of fingers. And I think he doesn't have enough dudes to do what he wants to do yet, but I do think he'll make them be a little bit more patient. USC's probably got too much firepower and too much speed. So I guess that would be the runaway. I'm interested to watch Bama and Wisconsin. I don't think Ty Simpson's as bad as people think he is. But no, here's the thing for me, homie. There is one name, and it's all that matters for the rest of the season for Alabama. Ryan Williams. That's it. Like, if Ryan Williams plays like the elite talent that Ryan Williams is, Alabama's got a chance to make all of their dreams come true. If he's just a guy, they're not going anywhere, man. They're not going anywhere. Like, Alabama's not a unit that's going to ground and pound you up front. They're not. They're not what they used to be up front. They don't have a bunch of weapons. Listen, they're banged up like crazy, too, along defensive line and at running back. I know that. But, like, they have to have him playing at an elite level. Can he get back to that? Can the defense play physical? Wisconsin's a physical team always. Now, can they protect Ty Simpson? Because Wisconsin always finds those linebacker dudes that get after the quarterback, right? Like, that's just, kind of been who they are. But to me, it's just Ryan Williams. I don't care about this game. I'm not watching this game because I don't even know who's going to play quarterback for Wisconsin. They don't either, probably. Like, and it doesn't matter. They scored 10 against Miami of Ohio to start the season, like week 1. Like, I mean, I don't care. I'm going to look at Ryan Williams and his stat line. If his stat line is not good, then I'm going to continue to sell all of my Alabama stock. If it's going to start rising and they're going to protect Simpson and he's going to make plays to him, big plays, I'll start buying more. Is that fair? Is that fair?
I think it's fair. And also the question is, do you think him being away for a game and just seeing all the success that they had, does it kind of give him a step back and maybe you see a re-energized version of him?
I hope. I don't know what's going on with him. I really don't. I know he's got, the body control is freaky. Like, it's out of this world freaky. And I know he's not a big kid, but dude, I'm throwing jump balls per game to him. If you're going to adjust to the football like that and you're going to run like that, that puts the fear of God in defensive backs. Defensive backs don't run as fast as him, and they dang sure don't adjust to the ball like he does because otherwise they'd be playing offense. That's just a fact. So they got to find ways to get him involved. Bernard's good too, man. They got some freshmen that can run. Like, I get all that, but it's about him for me. Protecting the quarterback, defensive line pass rush has been very average through a couple games. Now, they pressured the piss out of him last week, but still couldn't get home. Just fishing on the dock, just didn't catch anything.
If you had to ask me which of these games would actually be sort of within the 21.5 point spread, I would pick the Bama game.
Yeah. I would too. I would too. Well, Brent, I think that's all of them, man. Did we miss anything of any kind of appetizer? I don't know if you had like bottled water or if you had like ice cream. Shoot, I don't know what you have with the tailgates, bro.
I don't know.
I'll take some
much tailgating. I sit here and watch football all day.
I'm setting them to the 2. I'm watching them all. And listen, I know we don't have probably the. I think you got plenty of games. Like Florida obviously kind of cooled off the LSU game, but I mean, Georgia-Tennessee is going to be amazing. I think the SEC this week is going to be great, just period. There's just so many, good games to watch and check out. And so we'll be on the couch. We'll be picking. We'll see how the picks did. And we'll see you Saturday, man. We'll do the recap Saturday night. After all the games have played, me and Brent will take copious amounts of notes, and we will hit you Saturday night, and then it will come out Sunday morning as well as a podcast, so you can listen and sound smart at the water cooler. Like you'll be dialed in on every single game you want to talk about throughout the week. So we appreciate you helping us grow. Our subscribers are way up. Our listens viewers are way up. So we appreciate y'all hanging with us, and that's it, dude. We'll see y'all on Saturday night. Peace.